So, Rohit, so to start the interview, we will start with your introduction. So, could you please provide a short introduction, let's say your educational background and your working experience and your certification details?
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. My name is Rohit. I am from Pune. Recently, I had done my certification, global certification in SAP MM, that is ECC and S4HANA. Total, I had 2.5 years of experience, in which in my I had worked in my previous company for 1 year in a manufacturing company. I had worked as a maintenance in charge as well as I was involved in procurement activity also. Before that, I had 1.5 years of experience in. So I was worked in a as an electrical engineer. There also I had involved in purchasing activity. And my educational background is like I had completed my BTech in 2018 from Lovely Professional University
Mhm.
in electrical engineering.
Okay, so you have done a certification in SAP ECC also and in S4 HANA also, right?
Right, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, could you please let me know the transition from end user to consultant, like end user to this certification, how you got to know this certification thing and how you get to learn for the certification?
Actually, one of my colleague was there. He was also with me. So he had done the certification and he had got the job in the consultant role. At that moment, I got to know that this is also an opportunity for procurement side. If we had gone and we can enter into the IT sector and
Mhm.
get into a job in procurement and consulting way.
Mm.
So from there, I got to know about the global certification and all.
Okay, okay, great.
Yeah.
So, as you have done both ECC and S4 HANA, so could you please
Yes.
let me know that what is the difference between both of the structure and core structure, and let's say what is the difference, main basic difference between S4 HANA and ECC?
Okay. In like ECC and S4HANA, like configuration side, few difference are there.
Mm,
They had bought some material ledger is like mandatory in S4HANA,
mm,
whereas in ECC it was not required for accounting and all multiple currencies and for the actual costing for
mhm,
that S4HANA. And also in S4HANA, like BP transaction, like a business partner had been involved. So whereas in ECC, like we had using the different transactions code for vendor, creating the vendor and creating the customer, like XK01, MK01, all that been absolute, and for customer also. So all that had been data then created into BP business transaction in S4HANA. So
mm,
there is single transaction. So it is many transaction had been absolute from the ECC, and we got the S4HANA. And also many deployment option also had given in S4HANA, like it was not there in ECC. Like we had new on-premises option and cloud system also and hybrid system also. So yeah, that is also an involvement. And for end user side also, it is like it has developed the Fury apps for the end user side, so they don't have to involve in such lengthy trainings and all. So it is like a easy screens for them, so they don't require hard training to get into the purchasing side. So it is easy to get to learn about the SAP software for the end user side.
So, as you have done the certification in ECC, so could you please let me know the basic P2P cycle and how it happens in SAP?
Yes, sir. First of all, user department generate the request and whatever the material required. So they will create the purchase requisition based upon their requirement, and their requirement comes to the purchasing side, and then if vendor is available, they will go for that vendor. If it is not, then they will go for the request for quotation. After request for quotation, then vendor will send their quotation to the customer, to us, and then we will maintain that quotation into the system, and we will do the price comparison, and many more comparisons will be there that will not be in the system. So based upon that comparison, and we will select one vendor who is suitable for us and who is giving us good reasonable price. And after that, we will select that vendor, and we will create the uh, PO against that vendor, and PO creations will be there. And after that, we will send that PO to that particular vendor which we had selected. And then PO monitoring will be there, like purchase order acknowledgement we will expect from that vendor. After that, he had acknowledged, then when the when he will send the good to the company premises, then the quality inspection process will be done. After quality inspection, if material is okay, then we will go for the good receipt. And after good receipt, we will do for invoice verification. And after invoice verification, we will go for payment processing.
Hmm. So how this process is mapped in SAP?
From purchase from PR to MIRO, MIRO, invoice verification.
Mm-hmm.
We are processing all the activities which is going on from PR, PO, MyGo, and MIRO.
Mm-hmm.
Invoice receipt, good receipt.
Okay. Okay. So you have also mentioned that you have um, you know the process of organization structure in MM, right? So can you please
Yes,
let
sir.
me know what is the difference between organization structure of MM and organization structure of SAP? What is the difference between that?
The difference is in MM client, we will mostly deal with the plant purchasing organization, purchasing group, storage locations. Whereas in when we say for total MM, then client and company code will also be included in that structure.
Mm, okay,
That makes the difference. Yeah.
okay, okay. So you have also have the knowledge of material master configuration.
Yes, sir.
Mm. So what kind of materials are there? What type of materials are there in SAP? Can you name some of the important, let's say, material types?
Material types. We have raw material ROH. We have HALB for semi-finished good. FERT for finished good. Um, and NLAG is there. And UNBW is there. Uh, VARP is for packaging. I guess this is also there, and many more.
Hmm.
These are the
Okay,
famous ones.
okay, okay. So let's say for ROH material, what are the user department screens that are allowed and which departments are not allowed for ROH type materials?
For raw materials, basically, basic data is necessary for the client will should maintain, and purchasing data is mandatory, and general storage data and accounting data. These are the main data which are important. And also we can it is MRP data also, which is important for the important thing. And for the sales point of view, like if you want to go for this finished good, then sales comes into the picture. But for raw material also, it is there, but mostly we will go for the all these areas which are there: basic data, purchasing, accounting, and general data, and MRP, which are allowed.
Hmm. Okay, okay. So for let's say for the basic data of material master, in which table it is going to be stored?
MARA,
Hmm.
Maharashtra, MARA.
Okay. So if I want to look the stock for a material, let's say in the table level for a storage location, so where I can look for that?
MARD, sir.
Okay, so vendor master also you have configured in both in let's say in S4 HANA and in ECC also, right?
Right, right.
So what is the difference in configuration in both the modules, let's say in S4 HANA and in ECC, apart from that T code?
Yes. Uh, if you want to go for the configuration wise, like in vendor configuration, we will go for the defined vendor groups and all, vendor account groups, and we will define number ranges, and we will assign that number ranges to the vendor group. But in case of ECC, we have to do the vendor group also, but as well we will go for the BP configuration, that is a business partner. We have to define the business partner group, and we have to define the number ranges, and also we need to define the number ranges to the BP group, and mapping will be there for BP, and vendor mapping will be there, where we will assign the number assignment for direction of BP to vendors. For that, we can have the common uh, like assignment for BP and vendor account groups. And also we can have the BP role configuration also. Here we will define the BP roles, and group of the BP roles will be done.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you have mentioned procurement process in stock transfer order. So what kind of stock transfer orders are there in SAP?
Um, Stock transfer order. First of all, we have plant, storage location to storage location, plant to plant, and company code to company code.
Hmm.
So, you want me to explain, sir, everything?
No, that's it. Can you just let me know the process of, let's say, from one company code to another company code, how the flow will happen?
Um, it is mostly it is done in intra-company STO. Um, Intercompany STO,
Mm-hmm.
from one plant of company code to another plant of company code,
Mm-hmm.
where mostly the item document type which we use, that is NB, and standard document type. And here the delivery type will be like NLCC, and rest of the configuration will be like same only, supplying plant and all. It will be a vendor side. Vendor will be our normal normal vendor, which we do the procurement process. Same process will be done, but here we will maintain the sales data and all, sales data, basic data, um, and sales general data, and purchasing view, and general data, and accounting views. All this we will maintain. Here sales data is mandatory. Here actual billing process will takes place, where we will do the billing as we are treating the our as a vendor only. And here we will maintain the shipping data, where shipping data is to be maintained. And for that, um, here delivery type is, as I said, NLCC we will use. uh, like receiving plant, the one who wants the material, who will create the purchase order against it, and then that purchase order will comes to the um, customer side, and there they will send us the material, like they will confirm the purchase order, like, and after that they will send us.
Mm. Okay,
Good receipt will be done. I'm
okay.
not pretty sure about intercompany STO. Like intra, I had worked, but inter I haven't worked on the system, so bit confused.
Hmm. Okay, no issues. So can you explain the subcontracting process?
Yes, sir. Basically, subcontracting process is we have the raw materials and we will send this to the subcontracting vendor using the 541 movement type, and then that subcontracting vendor will make that raw material into the semi-finished or finished good, and then he will send us back to the company premises, and we will receive it through movement type 101.
Hmm. Okay. We will receive it on 101 or any different um, movement type is there.
Yeah, 101 we will receive, but simultaneously different movement types also triggered. 543 will also be triggered just because the material which we had sent it to the subcontracting vendor and he had consumed that. So 543 will also be triggered.
Hmm.
And if it is some scrap material is there also, then 545 will also be triggered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you also know about the vendor consignment process. So how we can
Yes,
receive the
sir.
material from vendor in case of consignment process? How we can do the GR for that?
First of all, sir, we will create the PO for that consignment vendor
Hmm.
using item category K.
Hmm.
And after receiving that, we have to maintain the info records and all. Uh, Info record is mandatory.
Hmm.
Price and all we will maintain, and tax tax code is also mandatory for that.
Hmm.
And after creating the PO, the vendor will send us the goods, and we will do the good receipt. And after good receipt, the stock will be lying in the consignment stock. That is not we are not like the liability belongs to the uh, vendor only.
Hmm.
Whenever we require the stock,
Hmm.
then we can transfer that stock to own stock, and then liability belongs to us.
Okay. So my
Yeah.
question is that how you can receive that vendor consignment stock? Is
Receive through good receipts 101.
101 only? Okay. So you have also mentioned that account determination process also, you know, you are aware of that. So could
Yes,
you
sir.
let me know how the account will get triggered and in which transaction we are triggering the GL accounts?
The accounts get triggered mostly based upon the valuation class which we maintain in the material master for standard procurement, and also based upon valuation class I had said. So it is connected to the material type, and due to the account category reference which we had maintained in the OBYC settings, due to which this accounts GL accounts get triggered. We will maintain in the transaction key, like for BSX, we will maintain valuation grouping code and account modifiers, and valuation class and GL account. So with this combination, exact correct GL account will be triggered based upon valuation class.
Mhm. So how this account you are saying, like say BSX or anything, it will trigger for any kind of material? How it is configured for that?
Um, that is, sir, based upon the movements which we are movements goods movement which we are doing, and movement type which we are performing in the MyGo screen. Like movement type will be that linked to the account modifiers and transaction keys in the configuration. So whenever we do the this configuration activities, then exact GL account will be picked up based upon that transaction keys which we had configured in the system.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned physical inventory. So as you have already worked as a end user also, so in that experience, have you anytime configured like you have done this physical inventory process?
No, sir. Actually, this process haven't come across my side. but I know overall process what does it mean, but I haven't come across it.
Hmm. Okay, so as you have also worked as a end user and you have trained in, let's say you have certified in the consulting role. So do you know the difference? What is the, let's say in physical inventory, what are the process that needs to be carried out by the consultant, and what is the process that needs to be carried out by the end users? Do you know the difference?
Yes, sir. Like for the end user side, they will first of all main physical inventory. Basically, we are maintaining and checking the stocks, and we are maintaining checking the variances.
Mhm.
So basically, here we will go for MI01 transaction code. For that, we will create the physical inventory document, and after creating the document, we will print that document and through MI21, and we will give it to the technical person who is a supervisor or whoever in charge who can count that. So we'll go and check, give the system data and print out, so he can go and count the physical stock whatever is there, and he will give the exact number of whichever he found, and if we whatever the amount we have found, then we will enter that count, and we will enter that count through MI04 transaction, and after counting and entering into the system whatever the difference which we had found, and then we will analyze the difference through MI20, and then if whatever the difference are there, if it is less quantity or more quantity, then we will post accordingly, and MI through MI07 is the transaction code, we can post the difference.
Mm.
And whereas in configuration side, as we had said, number ranges and all these activities takes place by the consultant side,
Mm.
which we do in the backend, like configuration systems and all. And
Okay.
whereas the end user side, this process which I had told earlier.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have mentioned that logistics invoice verification. So in logistics invoice verification, there is two process. One is credit memo and another one is subsequent credit, right? So what is the difference
Yes.
between them? What is the difference between credit memo and subsequent credit?
Yes. Sorry. Credit memo means like if we had if we had some rejected some material, so we want that payment should be given back. So vendor will return that payment whatever we had done invoice before that. So we want that payment to be back. So at that time we will do the credit memo, so that the material for which we had rejected and we had sent it back, so we want the value should be back in our accounts. And secondly, subsequent credit means it is also like vendor will only provide us when in case we had found that the everything process had been done, but when we found that the material he had charged something extra for something, or if found that in market like that material price had been reduced for few rupees and all, or he had included more tax charges or toll charges for shipping and all. So at that moment we had came to know for that purchase order, so he will what he will do, we will create some subsequent credit against it. So based upon that material only, so we will get the purchase order, we will get the subsequent credit.
Okay. So you have also mentioned for the pricing procedure. So whenever I am, let's say I am creating a PO, so in that PO, the price will automatically triggered whenever I enter the material and all the subsequent details I entered in the PO, price will be generating automatically, right?
Right.
So how this price will be triggering in the PO? What is the basic criteria for that?
um, Here we will maintain the condition records. Based upon the condition records, price will triggered. like MEK1 from where we can maintain it. From there, the price will be triggered accordingly based
mm,
upon the vendors and purchase organization.
mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have also mentioned as a release strategy also. So
Yes.
what kind of different release strategy are there for PR and PO?
We have like in PR, we have both like without classification and with classification, and in PO we have only with classification only. Here the difference is like in PR we can release at item level also, at header level also, but in PO we can release only in header level. So this is the main difference,
Mm,
and we have the communication tables.
mm. So what is the communication table for PO?
That is CEKKO,
Okay. If it is a service,
CESSR.
you are also mentioned that MRP also, right? Okay. So what is the difference between ERS and normal invoicing process?
Okay. In a normal invoicing, here we can have the price fluctuations and everything. And like I will say first, ERS means evaluated receipt settlement.
Mm,
Basically what we hear is the price and shipping price mostly will be fixed for the some particular vendor only. The For particular vendor, so that we can maintain the ERS. That is like invoicing will be done like automatically after indicating that ERS settlement. So we don't have to go for multiple invoices. MRRL is the transaction code through which we can do the invoices settlement at once. Many invoices can be done in a one go. Whereas in like normal procurement, the prices and all will not be fixed for some vendors. So here the price fluctuations will be there. So we cannot directly go for the some transaction code and we can enter automatic process for invoices. Here the fluctuations will be there for each and everything. So for that reason, yeah, there is a difference between ERS and normal procurement.
okay. So that's it then for the interview. We are good to close this session. Then we will
Okay.
start one more session to discuss the outcome, right? Join with the
Sure.
same join with the same link. Okay. Let me just disconnect
Yeah.
this one. Join with the same link. Then we will start the review session. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So it was a good session. Okay. So your subjective
Thank you,
knowledge
sir.
is, yeah, your subjective knowledge is good. Okay. So I can
Thank
say
you.
it was if I like if I exclude the like the way you explaining, okay, somewhere it is kind of little bit issue is there. Okay, apart from that, your subjective knowledge is good. You're good. Like if there is any fresher kind of job is there, definitely you will succeed. Okay, so
Thank you.
let's start with your resume itself. Okay, so
Yeah.
resume is fine, resume is okay, but if you have some experience, okay, so try to put it in the, let's say, aforeside or in the first section, try to put the experience in somewhere. Okay, so you
Okay.
have mentioned your profile. So profile is good. Till profile, it's good that you are trained in SAP MM consultant, S4HANA consultant. That's okay. Your training means you are a certified consultant. So it's better to put first those things. But after that, put the experience part also, because you have 2.5 years or more than 2.5 years of experience you are working, right? So if you are putting your
Right.
experience part in the last section, so everyone will get to know that you are only certified and you are a fresher. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, so try to put this section, this work experience section, little bit before. Um, in the resume. Okay, try to put it in
Okay.
let's say first or second column after your technical skill. Maybe you can maintain there that you have a work experience as a SAP. Means end user experience is also a SAP experience, right? It is not
Okay.
outside
Yeah.
SAP experience, it is a experience, it will be counted as a experience. So you have a, let's say, end user role, means it will be counted as a, let's say, um, what is called yeah, I'm forgetting that. Okay, so it is a experience, it will be counted as a experience only. Okay, so you have to put it in.
Yes, sir. I will do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
so then let's come to your subjective part. Okay, so
Yeah.
in the organization structure, okay, in the organization structure, when I asked you like what is the difference between organization structure and your let's say SAP organization structure. So basically organization structure, what you have explained, that is correct, that is not a problem, but you need to be let's say whenever you're answering, your answer should be to the point. Okay, so you have to answer like in SAP we have top organization or organization structure is purchasing organization. Okay, in purchasing
Yeah.
organization, next will be plant, and then it will be storage location, that's it. Okay, and if someone is
Right.
asking you about the organization structure for let's say SAP, then it will come from company code, then company code to plant, plant to then storage location, it will come like that. Okay, you just have to mention those
Right.
things. Okay, just
Okay. Yeah.
be pointed to your answer. Okay, and
Okay. Got it.
yeah, then let's say material master and vendor master, that's okay, that's not a problem. Okay, and if someone is
Yeah.
asking you question on let's say stock transfer order, so I have asked you what is the process for stock transfer order, what is the process flow.
Right. Right.
So
Got it.
yeah, so whenever someone is asking you about the process flow, start with the process. What is the process? Starting, you will have two plants. One is receiving plant, one is supplying plant. So
Supplying.
receiving plant should have a stock transfer order. For that PR, they will create a STO. Then STO will move to the supplying plant. In supplying plant, they will do the PGI, and then after PGI, you will receive the stock in your, let's say, in your plant. Okay, they will do the shipping and all the things they
Right.
will do. You will receive the plant in your receiving plant, then you will do the 101 moment type. Okay, that's it. don't
Right.
go don't
Yeah.
go into the let's say configuration part and all the things. If someone is asking what is the configuration part, then you can let them know like okay, we have to configure the customer as a vendor, then we have to maintain the shipping point and all the things, all the configuration details. Then if someone is asking you about the configuration, then tell them the configuration process. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and
Yeah.
subcontracting process, it was fine, no problem. But whenever you are saying subcontracting process, definitely add this. We will be doing 101 moment type in the GR process, but in the item screen, it will be triggering 541 moment type, 543 O moment type, it will trigger, right? So include in
Yeah.
that, okay. And
Okay.
also we have not discussed about the accounting entries for each and every process. So I believe you
Okay.
are sure about that, you are aware of that. Okay, if you
Yes,
are
sir.
not sure
Yeah.
about the accounting entries, so just check for that. Okay,
I'm
and
aware of that. Yeah.
okay, okay. So vendor consignment process, that is also fine. Whatever you have explained, that is good. But in the, I have asked you like what is the process of receiving the vendor consignment stock. So whenever you are doing the GR, you have to do it in 101K moment type, not in the 101 moment type. 101 means it will be your
Okay.
valuated stock only, right? So you will
Right.
have to say vendor consignment stock is 101K. So whenever you are doing the 101K, that will be in the vendor consignment. Okay, then after
Right.
that, if you
Okay.
want to, yeah, then after that, if you want to move the stock to your own stock, or you want to move to, if you want to directly, um, let's say, do the GI for that consignment stock to your, let's say, cost center directly, you can do it. Not a problem. Okay.
Yeah. 201K. Right.
Yes, yes. So next come to, let's automatic account determination. So accounting determination process you have explained well. But the thing is, when I asked you how this BSX account is triggered, so basically it will, with the moment type, um, there is a valuation string over there, right? You missed that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing over there.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
so
Yeah, got it.
yeah, you just have to add that. So with the valuation string means with the moment type, it is assigned to the valuation string, and with the valuation string, it is attached to, it is assigned to the valuation, um, the transaction event key and the account modifier that will come in a later part. But
Yeah,
with the moment type, it will be assigned to the what is that valuation string, right? So include that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Physical
Yeah,
inventory part, it is good, it is okay. So every physical inventory, what is transactions are there, that needs to be done by your end users only, unless you have a
yeah,
custom process that you are not able to do the let's say, for the all the material you need to do the let's say annual inventory, and in regular MI01 you're not able to do the let's say, you're not able to include all the materials. If that is the case, definitely you will have to extract the list from the table level. Is if that is the case, then definitely for extracting from the table level, um, consultant will work on that. Apart from that, everything is fine. Whatever you have explained, it is good. Okay. And
yeah,
credit memo and subsequent credit. So basic difference between credit memo and subsequent credit means, credit memo, both the quantity and the price will decrease, right? And
yeah,
in
yeah.
subsequent credit, only the price will decrease with the constant
Quantity
quantity
will be fixed. Yeah,
fixed, right?
yeah, right.
So whatever you are explaining, that is okay, that is fine, but just take some technical, like uh, whatever you are explaining, that is like, it is a longer explanation. And
Okay.
yeah, whatever you are explaining, that is good, but as an end user, that will be good, but as a consultant, you need to be like, what is the
Precise.
precisely, how can you answer, like, okay,
Okay.
so you have to answer like that. And
Got it.
okay, so release procedure and pricing procedure, okay, so in pricing procedure also, whenever someone is asking how the price is getting triggered, so basically don't tell about the directly the MEK1 transaction. So MEK1 is only we are maintaining the price over there. Okay, how it will triggering in the
Yeah.
PO? So we have in PO,
X
we have
sequence.
vendor. Yeah, we have vendor, we have purchase organization, we are there. So according to
Right.
the purchase organization schema group and vendor schema group,
Schema group.
there is
Right.
some condition record will be maintained. So as per that condition record, it will fetching the price. Okay. Condition
Right.
condition record is the second part, but first part is how it will be triggering. So to trigger, it will
Schema
definitely
group.
have a schema group, right?
Right. Yeah.
So okay, so that you need to answer. Okay.
Okay.
So that's it
Yeah.
about this. So explanation was good. Your subjective knowledge is good. So I believe we have not included the implementation part and other part, because you have mentioned as a end user role only. Okay. So
Yeah.
be prepared on that part also, for the implementation. Get some knowledge. I believe you have already some knowledge on that. So
Yes, sir.
be prepared on that. And in that also, be prepared on, like, precisely you have to answer, like what are the phases, and every phase what are the works are there for consultant. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the summary of the interview. So I believe you are good to go for interview, and you can crack the interview. Okay, just
Thank you, sir.
focus on these points, so definitely you will succeed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir.
Okay,
Sure.
then bye bye, take care.
Yes.